Hello everyone, welcome to the Pop Voice, where we give you the latest scoop on all things pop culture. I'm Joe Casale.
And I'm Amanda Macolino. We have a great show in store for you today.
In today's episode, we have an exclusive interview with Steve Carell, who stars in the new film Beautiful Boy, followed by Blast with Tamara. And later in the show, we have another exclusive interview with the cast of Bohemian Rhapsody. But first, let's talk about the biggest stories in pop culture right now.
It's been 1 week since pop singer Ariana Grande and SNL's Pete Davidson broke off their engagement, and Davidson is finally breaking the silence on the split. Davidson made his first public comments about the split in a stand-up comedy show with Judd Apatow, saying, "Well, as you could tell, I don't want to be here. There's a lot going on. Does anybody have any open rooms? Looking for a roommate." Grande and Davidson recently have gotten a $16 million apartment together in New York. Since the split, Davidson has been living with family and says he's doing just fine.
In some exciting news, actor Tom Holland made a surprise guest appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live this week to debut Spider-Man's new suit. Hardcore fans of The Wall Crawler were able to find said photos with co-star Zendaya before Tom's appearance on Kimmel. But during the talk show host week in Brooklyn, Holland not only showed off the costume, he announced the sequel's title and release date. Spider-Man Far From Home will hit theaters in July 2019.
And Michael Myers is finally back in theaters with the Halloween reboot, and the film is breaking records left and right.
I have prayed every night that he would escape.
What the hell did you do that for?
So I can kill him.
Jamie Lee Curtis is back as Laurie Strode and is breaking records. The reboot is the biggest opening weekend debut for a horror film ever, and the film also broke the record as the biggest box office opening with a female lead over the age of 55. That's huge news.
Speaking of huge news, that brings us to our first story of the day. Amanda, you got the chance to interview Steve Carell for Beautiful Boy. How was it?
That's right, Joe. It was awesome. I had the opportunity to chat with Carell about his new film called Beautiful Boy. It's a heartbreaking and true story about a father who struggles to help his son who is addicted to drugs. Let's take a look.
There are moments that I look at him, this kid that I raised, who I thought I knew inside and out, and I wonder who he is.
Academy Award nominee Steve Carell returned to his home state of Massachusetts to promote his new film, Beautiful Boy. The movie recounts the true story of father David Sheff, played by Carell, as he tried to cope with his son's drug addiction. Known mostly for his comedic roles in The Office or The 40-Year-Old Virgin, the 56-year-old actor took on the role to spread awareness on subject matters like addiction and recovery.
It's a powerful topic, and it's something that's very relevant right now. A lot of people are battling addiction right now.
When I tried it, I felt better than I ever had, so I just kept on doing it.
Carell co-stars with Oscar nominee Timothée Chalamet and had nothing but kind words to say about the 22-year-old.
He's a really great young man. He's smart and he's funny and he's kind. Obviously, very, very talented, but he handles himself really well.
Chalamet and Carell will tug on the heartstrings of Beautiful Boy, which hits select theaters October 26th.
Do you know how much I love you? I love you more than everything.
I love everything.
Everything. Everything.
You know, like most college students, I always see Steve Carell as Michael Scott. But after seeing Beautiful Boy, it feels like such a departure to see him in something just so serious.
It really was. It was definitely a big change for Carell, and the film couldn't have come at a better time. It confronts addiction head-on and breaks all stereotypes. Make sure you go see the film Beautiful Boy. It's in theaters right now.
Now it's time for Blast with Tamara. Tamara, who are you putting on blast today?
Thanks, Joe. Now, unless you live under a pumpkin, you're already tuned into the spooky season. Halloween is rapidly approaching and the parties are stacking up. Are you ready to dress to impress with your costume? There are a lot of things to critique about Halloween. Provocative costumes and cultural appropriation are the essence of college Halloween celebration. But today, let's blast the basic. It's 2018. The spectrum of ironic humor is far-reaching, meaning if you dress as a nerd or a basketball player, get out of my sight. This isn't your middle school Halloween party. Consider being creative this year. You've got Vine, you've got meme culture, you've got puns. Literally going as a trash bag would be more respectable. Next on Blast, I want to talk about Ye, aka Kanye West. Talk about being creative. In the past several months, Ye has dominated the news with his typical antics, like he wants to be called Ye now. Most recently, Kanye shared his vision of turning the Uganda safari into Jurassic Park. Very cool, Kanye. I should also add that he felt comfortable enough with his idea to discuss it in a meeting with the country's president. It should come as no surprise to any of us that Kanye hopes his plan can help build a real-life Wakanda in Africa. Let's just start with the fact that neither of those places exist, Kanye. You're probably real comfortable with meeting presidents by now, but maybe next time, try relating to the non-TV reality the rest of us live in. This leads me to my next and final blast for today, voting in 2018. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for encouraging the civic duty, but honestly, is Taylor Swift's political neutrality all that is keeping from over 65,000 of you from registering to vote? Do you all watch the news? If you have time to check your Instagram, you have time to be an informed voter. If Taylor didn't make that post, thousands of you may have neglected to vote. Priorities, people. That's it for my blast today. Joe, back to you.
Thanks, Tamara. On to our final story of the day. Amanda got another exclusive interview, but with the cast of Bohemian Rhapsody. Amanda, how was that one?
That was awesome. It was at a local Boston premiere for college students, and I had the chance to talk to Rami Malek, Gwilym and Joseph Mazzello, who took on the iconic roles of Freddie Mercury, Brian May, and John Deacon for a fantastic tribute to the legendary band Queen. Hey PopVoice, I got to catch up with the cast of Bohemian Rhapsody here in Boston at the AMC Lowe's Theater and got to talk to them about their new movie, Bohemian Rhapsody. Go take a look.
We're four misfits who don't belong together. They're playing for other misfits. You're the outcasts right at the back of the room. We're pretty sure they don't belong either. We belong to them.
Rami Malek, who plays Freddie Mercury, lead singer of Queen in Bohemian Rhapsody, told me about what it was like to embody the stylish rock legend.
Every day going in there, it was fun to get dolled up in some Freddie Mercury gear and try to embody him, use that time as rehearsal time, and that was always fun because he was audacious, and I got to be a little bit more audacious than I normally am in my own life.
So now what?
This is when the operatic section comes in.
Oh, the operatic section.
Gwilym played lead guitarist Brian May in the film and told me about what it was like to get his blessing.
He came to meet us on our first day of rehearsal, and it was kind of terrifying prospect, but then he walked in and came straight up to us and gave us a big old bear hug, and from that moment we were like, okay, we're going to be all right, because he was just gave us his complete support and his blessing.
At a Boston premiere exclusively for college students, Joseph Mazzello told me about why he thinks college students can really connect with the film.
College-age people sort of really. That's sort of the age when I got into Queen, when I was going to USC, you kind of get behind, how eccentric they are. I think that sort of that, freedom that they have in their music and sort of not kind of wanting to be, put in any sort of box as to style is something that, people who are coming of age and finding themselves really identify with.
Malek also believes college students can take away important lessons from the film.
I think this story resonates with everyone. College students included. You look at Freddie Mercury and you can say the man was a revolutionary as a human being, and in his work he broke every stereotype he could, and he defied every convention. He never allowed himself to be put in a box.
Bohemian Rhapsody is out in theaters November 2nd, so make sure you don't miss it. I'm Amanda Macolino with PopVoice. See you later. Bohemian Rhapsody comes out next week, so make sure you go and see it with family, friends, strangers, anyone really, because if there's one thing anyone can bond over, it's Queen.
Well, it looks like that's it for this week on PopVoice. I'm Joe Casale.
And I'm Amanda Macolino. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time with the latest news in pop culture.